So I was able to watch Talk to Me, and a lot of people said this movie is very disturbing, creepy, and a lot of horror in it. So I watched it. Here's my review on Talk to Me. Let's start off with everything I liked about the movie. And for starters, I feel like this movie did a really good job at introducing everything, so you instantly are hooked into the story. And every time you try to predict what is happening next, it completely changes and you do not know what is happening next because it takes a completely wrong turn, and everything is just a shocking moment after shocking moment, and you will be surprised. And because of that, this movie kind of draws that disturbance and terror into it, because you also have this one scene in particular where it's super bloody and kind of Evil Dead Rise a little bit, that kind of intensity, and you do not see it coming at all. It just all of a sudden it just happens out of nowhere, and you're completely shocked by it. So yeah, I feel like this movie did a really good job at disturbedness kind of side, and I feel like it really works. And the ending in here, I really like the ending in here. Now I can't really dive into what it is, but be surprised of difference. See, that's basically all I can say for the ending. All the actors in here did a really good job. We do not know any of them. That's why I'm talking about this. We do not know any of the actors in here, and they all do a really great job. You know who all the actors are by the end of this movie, because that's just how good, that's how well they do it. They did it really well. And this movie Smile came out last year, and this movie has a bunch of comparisons to Smile. They're almost identical in a way. They just kind of have a different change of shifts in a way, but they are really similar, and they kind of have this mixed feeling together that just locks in of how similar they are to each other. So it makes it seem like you've seen the movie before for Talk to Me, but you haven't at the same time. And Smile did that same thing. So both of these movies just have a very good way at just mixing that. But sadly, I did not like this movie as much as most people did. So let me move on to what I didn't like about the movie. And for starters, without going into spoilers, of course, I feel like they needed more history on a certain thing in here, because I feel like it didn't work that well without knowing the history of it, and I feel like they could have dived into that a little bit more. And this movie is a little confusing at some parts. I had to really think on the car ride home, okay, that affected this, so then how did this happen right here to infect the rest of the story? And I just found myself kind of confused at the end, which can be a good thing, but if you're super confused on it, maybe not. And a lot of people say this is a really good horror movie, and every time I hear that phrase, I think I'm gonna be terrified after the movie, because every time I watch a horror movie, that never happens. Besides one, which was Insidious. The first Insidious movie, I wasn't terrified, but at the end of that movie, I felt different than other horror movies. I actually felt terror in a way. But a lot of people were saying Talk to Me was this horror movie. So I was every time I hear that phrase, for Smile, for instance, I keep talking about Smile. So Smile, I was nervous to watch that movie because a lot of people were saying it is terrifying. And then I watch it and I'm this is not scary at all. And then that just happens here. I'm getting my hopes too high, saying it's going to be super scary. And I don't find it scary at all. Just a little bit of terror in there, but maybe for most people, if you get scared super easily, you will be terrified of this movie. But for me, I didn't really find it to be that. I kind of found it to be more repetitive in a way. I found it to be really similar to Smile. Like, I did say though they lock together with each other, make them feel different. But I can't help but just notice. I just feel like it just has those similar beats of like, you do not know what's happening, and then this happens, but that also happens in Smile. So it's like kind of this mix element in a way. And this makes me feel, it just makes me not like this movie as much as other people do. But overall, I still enjoyed Talk to Me. It's not as scary as I was hoping for. In fact, I did not find it scary at all. It's just like a couple disturbing parts, but I do find it too similar to Smile because I was expecting like a movie that I kind of didn't know the flow, but by the end of the movie, I was piecing together everything and couldn't help but notice that it was too similar to the movie Smile. But I still do recommend this movie. It's still that fun little, not fun, but it still has those terrors in here and those disturbing moments. And the ending, I do think you guys need to watch this movie for that. And out of 10, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow my letterbox called The Colder Man Movie. Comment down below your thoughts. And see you guys all next time. Goodbye.